lands which would become known as Rune were once a vast wilderness of dense forests, high mountain ranges, and deep valleys. It was inhabited by tribes of primitive humans who lived as hunter-gatherers, making their homes in crude dwellings and scattered hamlets. Over time, these dwellings became substantial buildings, and the hamlets became villages and towns, some fortified with walls and towers. As these tribes developed and expanded, minor squabbles would escalate into full-blown conflicts, and skirmishes were common along the loosely defined borders. This infighting and lack of cooperation led to others eyeing the vast natural resources and untapped manpower of the land with greedy and malicious intent. First came the Gilth, skittish, chaotic beasts from the cracked islands to the north. They swarmed upon the land, looting and pillaging, laying waste to forest and field alike. Then, from the south came the Greel. Where the Gilth were chaotic and wild, the Greel were organized, ruthless, and utterly evil. They made swift gains into the hinterlands of the southern coast, setting up a large mine and slave encampment known as Gorn to help support their war effort. Even with thousands of slaves under their control, they were not sated and advanced north. Within this maelstrom of destruction from the forges of war, two heroes emerged, Braitha and Ishia, warrior king and queen. These heroes led defenses of two of the final great conflicts of the war. Braitha led the defense of a mountain stronghold against the Gilth, holding its walls until the swarm of invaders lost all taste for the fight. Ishia united what remained of the scattered tribes and halted the advance of the Greel at two large lakes in the centre of the country. They would have stood little chance if not for the Greel themselves suffering a stall to their advance. Disaster had struck their mining operation at Gorn. Something had reduced the settlement and mining installations there to charred ruins. Aside from reports of a giant winged shadow, little was formally ascertained as to the cause. Braitha led a reinforcing army to crash into the Greel host, who, assaulted on two fronts and with dwindling supplies, cut their losses and fled the country. In the aftermath, the land of Rune was formed. Each tribe etched their mark onto a stone which was set between the two lakes, a place where the great city of Ishion, capital of Rune, was later built. The unification of the tribes in this way led to the formation of the strongest country the world had ever seen. The humans there built great cities, studied magics, researched technologies including farming and astronomy. Music, the arts and writing were all formed, and Rune blossomed under the ever-present royal lineage, which originated from the union of the two mighty heroes, Braitha and Ishia. Alas, not all good things were meant to last. Rune had built strong defences, had formed a powerful army, and manned a large naval fleet. Yet the downfall of Rune came not from outside its borders, but from within. A vile sect of vampires infiltrated the royal lineage and ate away at it, with the intent being to turn the land into a feeding ground for the creatures of the night. Before anyone realized, the queen herself had been infected, and in the aftermath, the entire bloodline of the royal family was eradicated. This resulted in a power vacuum, one that each noble from the various regions of Rune felt was theirs to fulfill. At first, these disagreements were heated exchanges, verbal duels across a meeting table. Eventually, though, open conflicts began to erupt, and settlements that once traded freely with one another closed their doors as mistrust was sown. In the modern day, Rune is a fractured land on the brink of civil war. All dialogue surrounding the good of Rune as a whole has halted, and now the barons retreat into their fortresses, plotting against their neighbours in a bid to seize control and further exert their dominance. The land has become a far more dangerous place than it used to be, as once, the unified militias work together. Now bands of criminals and brigands can find sanctuary in the woods and wilderness between the cities. Even within the settlements themselves, corruption runs rampant. Those with enough coin to bribe authorities are able to pass under their notice, with slaves, narcotics, and other shady dealings creeping into what were once places of law and order. Rune is quickly descending into a place of chaos and war, a far cry from its heyday as a shining beacon of human civilization.